Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back once again to my F123 My Team Career Mode campaign. We are now in Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. It's round 7 of this Season 1 campaign. If you haven't seen the last one, go back and check that out before you check this one out. Right, we are here with another sprint race weekend, the second of the season. So with that said, let's get into qualifying and let's try and get ourselves out of Q1 and get ourselves a good grid position for the sprint, because that can really set the tone for the entire weekend. If you get a good position in qualifying, you're in a decent way for the sprint and even better for the actual race if you can hold position there. But for now, let's try and get out of Q1. We've actually set the fastest lap of Q1 at the moment, but yeah, it was a good lap. Anyway, heading into Q2 now. What can we do here? Can we get through? Yes, we can. And we're quite comfortably through there. Just looking at it, we've got a good couple attempts. And I tell you what, given that this is a straight line speed circuit, this is working for us. The fact that we've got a great engine in our car, and I have attached a couple of engine upgrades, we have one of the fastest engines on the grid. So the fact that there's a good couple of long straights here should benefit us, and it has benefited us to get P7 on the starting grid for the sprint.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Sparkles, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Stroll, Joe, Ocon, De Vries, Sargent, De Vries. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Okay, on the grid, ready for the second sprint of the season. What's going to unfold here? It's lights out and away we go for the sprint race, and whoever started in P2, that Mercedes just did not get away at all. Look at the two Ferraris going side by side into turn 1, but it's Carlos Sainz who leads the way. Charles Leclerc is in second, and look at that, I think I'm up to third from P7 on the grid. We'll see how I did that in a minute. Oh, the two Ferraris have come together. Leclerc having a look at Sainz, and he's taken off his front wing. That moves me into P2. We'll get a better look at that now from my perspective as the lights come on and now they go out, and it's George Russell just not getting away off the line, and Carlos Sainz getting away pretty nicely, but Leclerc wanting a go at P1. Hamilton didn't get the best exit out of turn 1, and that now allows me to get onto the back of the two Ferraris, so I'm up to third, taking advantage of Russell's slow start. Leclerc's gone in tight to defend me. He's missed his braking spot and he's gone straight into his teammate. That's going to be front wing damage right there. Don't know what's cracking off behind, but we're now having a look at Carlos Sainz for the race lead. But Sainz covering that one nicely, and he's already starting to build up a lead as we finish the lap. Yellow flag behind us. What's cracked off there? Virtual safety car deployed because Perez is out of the session. This is going to be Leclerc coming in, and Perez, ooh, clipping him quite hard and losing a wheel. That should be a full safety car there. I don't know how that's only a virtual, but Perez, I suppose he's well off the racing line. Anyway, the virtual safety car is ending at the end of lap 2, which means we can go racing, and I want to try and hold on to as many positions as I can here. But unfortunately for me, all the cars behind me are so much quicker. So it's going to be a very, very tricky job to try and hold position from where we're at. But we're going to do our best anyway, as Lewis Hamilton is the first to have a look. I'm going to cover him any way I can. In fact, here he comes for the end of the straight now, but he's not got quite enough speed to get past me there. Meanwhile, we've got Russell trying to come back on Alonso here. So George Russell trying to make something of a comeback, going around the outside of Fernando Alonso. And Max Verstappen there, only in P6. So Verstappen not having a good day so far, but his day is about to get a little bit better because he's just gone past Fernando Alonso. Alonso trying to hold out round the outside though. They're side by side. And look at Bottas, Norris and Albon, all wanting to get involved, all wanting a piece of this action, as Max Verstappen tries to go around the outside of Bottas, who's having a look down the inside. Valtteri Bottas in P7. He is running very high here, and he is challenging Max Verstappen for P6. Is he going to get it? I don't think he is, because him and Alonso have now had a little bit of a coming together. And, well, Max says, thank you very much, I will just take that. Right, we've got a car going very, very slowly and pulling out of the sprint. I can't really see who that is. I think that's Bottas, actually. I think that is Valtteri Bottas. That is so unfortunate for him. He was doing so well. Right, Hamilton has now come past me down the straight. I'm going to go around the outside. He goes in tight. He doesn't get a good exit. I nearly slide my car into him, but Hamilton has been repassed as we head up the hill. And is Hamilton going to have a look? He is, but I'm just going to park my car in the middle of the circuit. Not able to make the move, but he might have a go up the hill. Lewis Hamilton getting right in my gearbox here as I go to cover. And Hamilton is going to have a look round the outside, but no way through there. And we are able to hold on to P2 just for now. But Russell is coming at me now. And here comes George Russell on my left. And there was very little resistance I could offer to that. However, if I get a good exit out of turn 1, I might be able to get back in his DRS, but that was not a good exit. That was me very nearly losing it. And with Lewis Hamilton on the outside, I very nearly lost it into his path. So I don't think Hamilton will appreciate that as we head into the right-hander. I've gone deep there on the exit, and that's going to allow Lewis Hamilton to run on me. I have DRS, but only just. But look at that, Hamilton down the inside. I'm trying to hold him out round the outside. Lewis parking his car in the middle of the track. That's made me go deep, and now I'm vulnerable to the advances of Max Verstappen. And I've gone wide again, and that's going to allow Max through. And, well, that is a massively bad lap for me. 3 cars overtaking me in the space of, well, a whole sector, really. And now we've got Norris and Piastri closing in. So I'm hoping upon anything, really, that we can just hold the position and hopefully hold on to a point or so in the sprint race. But we shall see. Right, these are the 2 Mercedes now having a little fight. This is Lewis Hamilton attacking George Russell, I believe, and Max Verstappen right behind the pair of them. He's going to wait to see what happens here. Hamilton, I think, trying to take Russell, but there is wheel banging. Max Verstappen now tucking into the DRS of the Mercedes. He's got past one. Is he going to pass the other one? Not quite yet. Verstappen tucking in, although that Mercedes is on the right of Max Verstappen, but he's got that move done. Right, beginning of the final lap. Norris has caught me. Albon has caught me. They've all caught me here. Here comes Lando Norris down the inside. He's got that done. Nothing I can really do. I'm going to try and sweep down the outside, but I go way too deep there, and that allows Alex Albon through. And also coming through in the Haas is Kevin Magnussen, But before we see that, this is Max Verstappen going round the outside of George Russell to take P2. Right, back to the racer behind, and this is Kevin Magnussen getting past me. Don't know where to look, it's all cracking off here. Magnussen down the inside and Norris, no way through. I've hit Magnussen there, and Norris has been forced wide by all of that commotion. I'm in P7. Albon is up to P5 for Williams. And then you've got Magnussen in 6th. We're in 7th. Carlos Sainz wins the sprint race. He has not been bothered all through this race. And it's going to be P7 for us and a couple of points, although Oscar Piastri has eyes on that P7, but he's not going to take it here. It's P7 in the sprint race.
All right, race over. Take care of the car.
Yeah, that was a tough one, that one, especially as towards the end I just didn't feel like I had the tyre grip available to me. So Alex Albon, predictably driver of the day, finishing in 5th for Williams. That is an outstanding effort. That really is outstanding. So Carlos Sainz winning out there by quite a comfortable margin to Max Verstappen. And I believe it'll be the 2 Mercedes in 3rd and 4th.
Let's have a look then.
And there you can see Albon in 5th, Magnussen 6th, myself in 7th, and Piastri in 8th, rounding out the top 8 of the sprint race, and all of those that score points. Lando Norris, well, they call him last lap Lando, but that's a last lap he will want to forget, going from 5th to 9th. And Nico Hülkenberg rounding out the top 10, so Haas looking strong for the race ahead. We got 36 laps ahead. Who knows what can unfold? Max Verstappen still leading the way in the championship with Lewis Hamilton in 2nd and Sergio Perez in 3rd.
Welcome from the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Albon, Magnussen, Sparkles, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Ocon, Gasly, Iwasa, Stroll, Joe, Leclerc, Sargent, Perez, Fernando Alonso, De Vries, Sainz, De Vries. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Let's talk about Sparkles. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
No more messing around then, it's time for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Verstappen gets away very nicely. The 2 Mercedes are looking quite racy with each other. Albon moving up into 4th. No, I think that's Magnussen sweeping round the outside there and ensuring that Albon is not able to hold on to the position, and I think you can see me having a look at him there. We will switch to my POV soon, but look at that. That is such a strong start for Max Verstappen, and here we are on the grid. This is my POV now. Lights out and away we go. Albon did not get the best of launches. Magnussen got a stronger one. We're trying to go through the middle, but I've braked a little bit early, and whoa, Albon went in quite tight, and there was contact between Albon and the Haas, as we're now switching to the inside to have a look for the right handle. Then we've got a little left kink here before it. But down the inside we go, and that should be P5. So we have gained a position off the start. There is a yellow flag there, but I think that's just where everybody's going really slowly and sorting themselves out at the back. But here we are, P5, and a very decent start for us as we now set sights on Kevin Magnussen in front. Meanwhile, Esteban Ocon is setting sights on Nico Hulkenberg. Ocon going down the inside. He's going wheel to wheel there. The Alpine driver really determined to make positions early, as there are quite a few cars out of position, so that's a chance for Alpine to take advantage. Meanwhile, we're watching Iwasa and Leclerc fighting each other. Leclerc trying to come back after a disaster of a sprint race, and Charles moves up ahead of our teammate, who really gave him a good fight there. So Iwasa fighting him as hard as he could, but in the end, Leclerc getting the position, moving up into P13. Right, back with us as I now try and close in on Kevin Magnussen. We brake late. I'm going to try and switch to the outside. However, that involves me going pretty deep into the corner and missing my own braking spot. But now we're back on the circuit. I've got a little run on Kevin Magnussen here. I switch to the outside. Kevin goes defensive, and Magnussen just parking his car in all the right places here. But I'm still trying to find a way through. Once again, going wheel to wheel into the left-hander, and Magnussen with the widest pass possible, not letting us go. And we're going to have to rethink this one. There's a yellow flag in front of us. I think that's the Mercedes of George Russell having an engine failure, and this now becomes a fight for third as Magnussen goes in quite defensive. So we have to rethink and regroup. We've gone a little bit deep there. That's not going to help us. Verstappen setting the fastest lap, but now we have DRS available, and that should make a potential overtake that bit easier as Magnussen tries to hold on to P3. But now we've got DRS heading up the hill. That will be a nice advantage for us. Are we able to get the move done on the way up the hill? We're definitely getting close enough. Am I going to take a dive? No, that feels a little bit too risky at this stage. Meanwhile, we're watching Charles Leclerc try to get past Hulkenberg and Gasly, and they seem embroiled in their own scrap as Gasly tries to go around the outside of Hulkenberg. Is he going to complete the move? I think he is, and that's now leaving Hulkenberg vulnerable for Charles Leclerc, who gets past the Haas. And now he's going to set his sights on Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. Oh, Hulkenberg's had another lunge at Leclerc there, but Leclerc keeping the position, and if anything, that's going to slow up his progress, getting past Pierre Gasly. However, next lap, he's just going to go around the outside of turn one, and Gasly not able to offer any resistance to that. Right, now we're back with the battle for third, and Magnussen's gone a little bit deep, and this is my chance. He's a little bit compromised. I'm being literally forced onto the outside of the circuit, literally having only the space of an F1 car at one stage to make the move, but that doesn't faze me, and we complete the move for P3. But now Lando Norris, who's got past myself and Magnussen, he's getting ready to have a look. It's down the inside for Norris. Does he get it done? Yes, he does. But my bad corner actually made for a better exit, so we're able to get the better exit on Norris. Hold on to P3 for now, but I have a feeling he is going to be back for more. Oscar Piastri running in fifth. This is a great showing for McLaren at the moment, as Lando Norris getting ready to attack me again. He's attacking in turn one. I'm going to keep the outside line. I'll go around the outside again, and Norris just not able to get it done, but he's tucked right into the DRS here, right into my rear wing. He goes down the inside, and he tries to move across to complete the move, and I just sweep round the outside, taking the Leclerc approach from Verstappen from a few seasons ago. But that, we hold the position. We hold on to P3 for now. But here comes Lando Norris yet again. He is not going to give up easy. Norris now having a look, trying to get through, and this time parks it. But again, I'm going to use the DRS out of the corner, get closer to Norris, go for the outside. Here we go. Outside of Lando Norris, going wheel to wheel once again. But Norris down the inside. Norris fighting it hard. We're still wheel to wheel as we come down the little right kink here. And now we're heading into the left-hander. Norris trying to hold the outside line. And we're still wheel to wheel. But eventually, Norris having to succumb to that. and we pit a lap later. Now, I was planning a 2-stop for this race so that I could attack the tyres all the way through. I don't think that's the right strategy, though. Looking back on it with hindsight, I don't think it's the right strategy, but we're going to see how it unfolds as we head out onto the track. And first things first, we've got to clear these three: Bottas, Iwasa and De Vries. So down the straight we go, and look, we've already got momentum on De Vries as he has a look down the inside of Valtteri Bottas. There's going to be nothing in doing in that, and Bottas just able to see off the Dutch driver as we now go down the inside. Next up is Bottas as we make a late switch to the outside, and luckily we'd already got completely past De Vries there. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty nasty accident. And next up, we're going to try and pass Iwasa. This should be an easy pass down the inside. Iwasa giving me a little bit of a fight, but we're able to make the position up. And that's how it unfolded. We actually had some clear track and good pace, which allowed us to maintain P3. But Norris is on fresher tyres. And, well, his tyres are about 5 to 6 laps fresher than mine. That is making a difference because he is able to catch us very, very quickly indeed. And he will be on my rear sooner than later. Here he is, look. And here is Lando Norris. He's going to have a look down the inside of the corner. He's tucking into the DRS. Here he comes. Down the inside. Norris getting the position. And there wasn't really anything I could do there. And I've gone deep trying to fight him off. We're going to have a go with the DRS. Here we come. Norris holding the inside line. I'm going to try and find a way through. Round the outside. Can we get the move done on Lando Norris? Nope, Lando has the momentum through the corner and has the line, and that is P3 for Lando Norris. And I made the mistake here of pitting in this lap, so I thought, okay, lost the position, let's come in for fresh tyres. And I come in and take the hard tyres because I didn't think the mediums would make it. Looking back on it, I wish I'd taken the mediums, but again, hindsight is a wonderful thing. As we leave the pit lane in P13 with work to do. We've got Tsunoda and Stroll to catch in front of us, but I found that the pace just wasn't really there on the hard tyres, so that was a bit disappointing for us as now we watch Piastri and Perez going at it, or Piastri and Albon should I say, going at it. Oscar Piastri, we've heard on our radio, does have an issue with his car, so he is going to be slower, and that's rotten luck for Oscar, as Esteban Ocon is getting involved with Sergio Perez now. Ocon has just been sneaking his way forward all through the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz behind him. Sainz was dropped back due to a penalty, don't forget. But Ocon has just been so sneaky, making his way through. Perez, though, trying to shut it down, but Ocon not giving up easy. In fact, Ocon still down the inside. They're still wheel to wheel. They've been going wheel to wheel for the entire sector. And I think Perez surely is going to see him off here. There is contact as Ocon nudges Perez. And Perez keeping that position. But yeah, there's the proof that we're just not catching and making the inroads that I want to be. And we're spending more time defending Gasly than I would like. So that's costing me pace as well. I just feel like we made the wrong decision here. And, well, all we can do now is go into the rest of the race. But we've gone into Magnussen there, giving him a bit of a love tap. But not for the first time today, we are going past Magnussen down the inside. And we have once again taken the Haas. Magnussen has just been slipping back all race. And he is now down into P13. So what started off as a day that looks pretty strong for him, he's just fallen off really, hasn't he? It's just not really happened for him. Is Yuki Tsunoda now having a look at the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, and he's got that move done, I believe, and that's going to put Stroll nice and vulnerable for us as we get a nice little up and under. Stroll coming across and across, pushing me onto the grass, but we keep our foot in it, and we're going to go down the inside of Lance Stroll and take P11, so we're one place away from a point now. And Piastri is still limping and bringing cars that are ahead of us towards us. And maybe there is potential as this race carries on unfolding. But Tsunoda's already got past Piastri. I'm now going to have a look at the McLaren driver who is limping, and Oscar Piastri, who was running nicely in the top 5, now out of the point. But hopefully he can hold up Fernando Alonso a bit for me. I don't think we're going to be able to make any inroads on Albon or Tsunoda, sadly, so that's unfortunate for us. One thing I wish I'd done is extended the stint with the softs for another few laps, then switch to mediums, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Here comes Fernando Alonso now, looking to take off the 1 point we have in this race. Alonso down the inside, he has P10. I'm going to go around the outside, not quite enough, but we've got better momentum into the corner. We're side by side here. How tight can I force Fernando into the corner? The tighter I can force him in, the better. Right, Alonso going in very tight. Oh, he's made contact there as he's gone wide into us. There you can see he goes deep, forcing me a bit deep as we now bang wheels with Alonso again. This is determined racing. Alonso has just got it done, but I'm not giving up. Down the inside, and we manage to force our way back into P10. We are going to have to defend like crazy, though, for the last corner. I'm going to park it on the inside. Alonso's going to try and take the outside. Not happening there. And we now hold on to P10. It is going to be a point for us, despite the wrong strategy. It could have been a better result. It could have been better.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. See what effect this
well, Max Verstappen just commanded that race, didn't he? Looking untouchable once again in the Red Bull, finishing top. Lewis Hamilton is second, and it's a first podium for Lando Norris, doing an incredible job for McLaren. Charles Leclerc getting P4 despite starting 16th. Decent comeback for him. Then it's Perez, Sainz, Ocon sneaking his way to 7th, Albon, Tsunoda and myself. But if I hadn't made that second stop, if I'd only extended my soft stint, gone on to mediums to the end, I could have finished somewhere between Perez and Sainz. I probably could have had P6, but it is what it is. We still take a point from this weekend, and we learn a valuable lesson with the strategy that a one-stop is the way to go. Obviously pending safety cars and whatnot. So, yeah. Little bit gutted that we couldn't make more of that, but there's the championship standings. Verstappen once again extending his lead. Then it's Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Leclerc, Alonso, Sainz, Norris moving ahead of us now, and then Ocon staying in the top 10. And as for the constructors, well, it's pretty comfortable for Red Bull, isn't it? With Mercedes in second, Ferrari third, followed by Aston, McLaren, Alpine and JT Racing, which is us. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new here for more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care.